Reality. So what does that mean, Christel?
That is a very good question, Simone. What does that mean? So my awareness when I created this set of calls was several things. And one was this whole reality that we've got around sex and relationships, which we want to talk a little bit about. And the other was like this possibility of being a way in the world that actually seduces and flirts your reality into the way you'd like it to be. One of the things that I do really naturally that I don't mean to do is I kind of flirt with everything, and I've watched that create a lot of ease in my life, and I've watched that create in a really different way. So there's a couple of pieces here, and so where should we start?
Yeah, what do you mean with flirting with everything? So it's about relationships or is something else?
Well,
Or
it's about both. And so when it comes to sex and relationships, the thing that I've been aware of most of my life, because this is an area where I've really struggled most of my life, is that
oh, really?
yeah.
You're the only one, I think. No?
I know. That's why I created the call. But truly, like for me, relationship has probably been the area of my life that has been the hardest for me. I was saying to my friend Torsten the other day that that literally from when I was young, my mom made me responsible for the dis-ease in our relationship, and would actually constantly tell me that it was my issues, my lack of functioning, my inability to relate to her that created the problems in our relationship. And so I truly spent most of my adult life trying to figure out my problem so that I could have good relationships. What was really funny about that was that I actually had really good friends. I had good relationships where she was the one that really struggled with people and still does, and actually pushes people away. And I think that's one of the first things I want to say is that anytime somebody's accusing you of something, they are doing it themselves. So just be aware of that in relationship. It's like if somebody's saying, you know, well, you do this and you have this problem, it's something that they're functioning from. So for me, relationship was always this area that I wanted to be good at, because it started with my mom. I wanted to have a good relationship with her, and then it moved into wanting to get married at 27, and I bought into the point of view that I had to deal with my father issues before I could get married and have a good relationship with them. And so I started dealing with all of that, and so relationship has always been this thing that I was told I wasn't good at, and had no skill in, and desperately really wanted to be good at. So when you fast forward like however many years later, I'm 40, you know, I'm divorced now. I've been divorced twice, and now I'm in the play of discovering my relationship reality. There's a lot of tools that have gone into getting me here, and I would really like to introduce those tools into more of the mix of what the possibilities for a relationship really can be. And I think the first thing I want to give everybody, which I mean, everybody who's ever done Access knows this tool, but it really is interesting point of view. I have this point of view about everything. I mean, when there's an area of my life that isn't functioning the way I want it to function, and I've really become aware of it, I start using interesting point of view. I have this point of view about every single thought, every single feeling, every single point of view that comes up for me about that thing. Now, I would say do it for your whole life, but when it comes to relationships, like if this is somewhere where you're really struggling, interesting point of view, you have the point of view that that person has to do that thing when you tell them they have to do that thing. Interesting point of view, you have the point of view that things have to go a certain way. Interesting point of view, you have the point of view that this person should blah, blah, blah.
Or fulfill the needs they have from you, the needs. So you have to do that for a good relationship. You have to function like this, tuck, tuck.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know this, I mean, we all know this, like I think relationship is probably the one area, definitely, that all the expectations and all the projections of what a relationship should be, you know, between two people come up. You know, it's like you get into a relationship with another person, they come preloaded with expectations and projections. And I realized after a certain period of time that I did too. And I just hadn't been willing to acknowledge that, because my expectations most certainly were right. You know,
right. Of course.
So, of course, they're mine. Hello. You know, and I've really noticed, I've been noticing more and more that when I come into a situation with expectations, which I almost always do, If that's what sets the stage for upset and for disappointment and for everything to actually go wrong. So all the projections, expectations, separations, judgments, and rejections we have creating the dis-ease in our relationships, can we begin to unravel that and destroy it and create all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I would say that projections, expectations, decisions and judgments, computations and conclusions are probably the fastest way to destroy yourself in any relationship that you're in. And I don't know that we always set about doing that intentionally, but that's the thing about functioning from unconsciousness, is that you aren't able to function from awareness and consciousness. And so the thing that I've been playing with a lot in this new play of dating and creating my reality is really destroying and uncreating every time that I've discovered that, oh yeah, I totally decided something there, or I concluded something about that person, or about how this was supposed to go, or I decided it was going to be fine. I didn't actually ask a question, like, will it be ease? Mm-hmm. And so all the decisions, judgments, computations, and conclusions that you have about relationships working out just because they will, and there's love. Can we destroy it and create all that?
Yes.
Right, Rocket Pad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And I love that we called the Hangout love, because I mean, what is everybody looking for? What are all the movies about? What are we all desiring to happen to us?
And we also called it Happy End. Could also be the title for.
Right.
It's a really good title.
It is. And in Access, we talk about love being a distractor implant, which when people first hear this, they're like, what are you talking about? Like it gets
a lot in all that.
Yeah. I remember feeling kind of indignant about that, or weirded out by that, because I was like, what do you mean? But the more I do, the more I really get it, because functioning from love as a construct, well, first of all, there's 7.2 billion people on the planet. We all have our own definition of love. There's as many definitions for love as there are for the word snow, Inuit word snow. And so love for me is, my love for you is different than my love for this wine. Then it's different than my love for this lip gloss. Then it's different, right? Love is just, it's a word we throw around, and yet it's the thing we are all seem to be looking for. Well, what is it? Well, to judge something as love, you have to judge it. You have to judge, well, I love this person because da, 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 da. So you can't, once you've judged something and you've decided something, you can't actually be present with what is anymore, because you've already decided that you love this person because blah, blah, blah.
And so I think everybody assume if you say I love you, the other person mean the same thing, but I think it's totally different the most time. But not what I speak about.
Exactly. And so if you say to me that I love you, then of course that means you're going to do this and you're going to do this and this is what you're going to deliver. All these projections get created because you said I love you. Well, you said you did, so why aren't you performing up to what it is that I know? Now I'm expecting you to do and be all this stuff, because this is what this means to me. Yeah, and so there's so much significance around it. Like every bit of it is so significant. And as soon as you give something form, structure, and significance, you are no longer free to choose. So all the form, structure, and significance that we have creating the relationships we cannot have, because you destroy and create all that. Yes. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So this call series, Flirting in a New Reality, is really about unraveling a lot of the insanity. I think in some of these areas we have really embedded insanity going on. Like money is a really hotbed for insanity. Relationships seems to be another hotbed for insanity. And what I'm discovering is, like, once I've loosened up some of the insanity, that's when a little more consciousness in there, and it's like, okay, now what questions can I ask to have more awareness about what would actually work for me? Not what I've decided love is or what I've decided I should have in my life, but like what could actually work for me? And so, like, Gary Douglas talks about the 4 questions that you ask when you think you want to sleep with somebody. You've looked at somebody, you've decided you want to sleep with them. Well, what are some questions that you could ask to get more awareness about what that would create in your life? And the 4 questions go, will it be fun? And you're looking for like a yes or no. Will it be fun? Yes. Okay. Will it be easy? Yes. All right. Will I learn something? That's usually a yes. You always learn something. Make sure it's fun and easy if you're going to learn it. That's all I'm saying. And will they be grateful? And another one that I've been playing with is, will this make me money? Which is a really bizarre question when you're first hearing it. Like, will it make me money? What does that mean? Are we being prostitutes now? Is that what we're doing? We're going to go prostitute? Well, I don't know if that's fun for you. But what the question actually does is it gives you the energies of all of those things in one question. So those are the questions that you want to begin to ask and bring into the mix. Because instead of looking across the room, seeing somebody who's hot, feeling the chemistry, deciding that that's a good thing and it's going to be awesome, none of which are questions, what you want to begin to do with relationships is you want to begin accessing your awareness that usually gets pushed down to the bottom of the pile because everything else you decided is so much more fun. You've got all these endorphins going. There's all this fun energy going through your body. For all kinds of reasons. There's all kinds of things we could talk about of why that gets created in your body, not just physiologically, but from an energetic standpoint. But what would change if you actually did ask a question first? Would you choose fewer people that were unkind to you, that ended up not being so great in bed, for different reasons? Would you choose people that actually, after you slept with them, made you feel better? Like, what if you actually didn't feel, so I don't know about you, Simone, but have you ever felt worse after you've gone to bed with somebody, like woken up in the morning and
Most
just
of the time.
felt worse? Yeah. So there's this whole thing about the whole conversation around that, about being sexual healers, what that is. But a lot of us that are naturally healing bodies will do that for other bodies. And so when we're not aware that we do that, we usually pick other bodies to heal instead of other bodies that are actually going to contribute to us. And that was a huge shift for me, to not only have awareness of my capacity with the healing thing, but also to be willing to choose something different. Because there was a long time where it was like, okay, cool, I'm a sexual healer, I've got that capacity. And I'd still choose, men or bodies that required that. And I'd still feel worse afterwards. So when I started actually asking, will it be fun and will it be easy? That's when I actually started allowing my body to contribute awareness to me of like, no, this is not going to be fun and this is not going to be easy. Would we like to choose something else? And so I did. I started choosing other partners. I started choosing other situations. And what showed up is like really amazing contributory experiences, like world expanding experiences, life expanding experiences that actually contribute energetically to everything I'm creating, that aren't a separate event I have to recover from anymore, And that's just, and that's just talking about like sex with, as a single person or as a, out there person having sex. That's kind of that conversation. But bringing that into relationship is like, okay, what could we create as a relationship that would actually work instead of what we've decided a relationship has to look like? What does actually work? Do I need more space than I've actually ever taken? Do I want to live in 2 different houses if I'm going to have a relationship? Do I want to be in a relationship with more than one person? Like, am I a one-person person? Maybe not. So it's being willing again to ask those questions, and actually choice creates awareness. So choosing things that can actually create more awareness for you around that, instead of just functioning from a paradigm that says it has to look a certain way.
And also ask the body. So ask the body, what do you know here? So it's the body is involved in all the things, and the most time we forget to ask the body.
So funny. And it's like our relationship is such a contribution or not a contribution to your body. And it's like when you exclude your body, you actually exclude a huge piece of information, of awareness that your body could be giving you. And this whole asking my body thing for me is still really new. Even though I've been playing in Access for a couple of years, I've played more and more with it. But the more body classes that I do, and the more I guess just awareness I'm willing to have with my body, the more I get that it really can give me really cool awareness about things pretty quickly. And so yeah, asking your body, like, body, do you want to do this thing? Do you want to go here? Do you want to wear this? Do you want to engage with this person? Do you want to have sex with this person? Your body will tell you if you allow it, if you're willing to listen to it. Yeah.
So in the first you said flirting with everything. So what does that mean?
Well, I'm curious about the questions people have about this, because what does it mean? It can mean anything. I think for me, it's the space of really being willing to engage with all of life. You know, I gave this example on the German Hangout of engaging with a baby, because that's always what comes up in my mind when I look at like, what does it mean to flirt? Well, if you're behind a little baby in line at the grocery store, you know, everything in you goes into engaging with this little being, you know, and wanting to create a response in this being. And, our eyes get wider and we're more alive and all our barriers are down. And that is actually the space of flirting, you know, of whether you're flirting with a man or you're flirting with a woman or you're flirting with, your potential landlord. Just, it's like, it's the joy that we are and the willingness to be no barriers with everything that is actually the invitation to everybody being greater, everybody being more of themselves. Like if I walk into a room and I've got my barriers up, and this is just an energetic thing and something you can play with flirting. If I've got all my barriers up and I walk into a room, like it's so hard to interact with people. Like I actually want to leave almost immediately, because what's going on is that all the energy in the room is like bouncing off my barriers and it's like difficult to be there. So if I go into a room and I've got all my barriers down and all the energies in the room can just, float through me like they would a screen door, and I can just be aware of everything, then I actually have total control, because I'm willing to be aware of all the energies. And I can pull energy. If I want to engage with somebody, I'm going to pull energy from the universe, through their body, through my body, to get things started. And, I can push energy at people just for fun, to screw with them a little bit, but you can play with the energies. And so that's true for everything that you desire to create. It doesn't matter if you're wanting to create a business or a relationship or a one night or a friendship. Like actually being able and being aware that you have capacities with energies and using them to your advantage is what flirting in a new reality is. It's like, what would you like to seduce into your world? Do you want to seduce more money? Do you want to seduce more business? And what have you decided seduction is that it actually isn't? So all of our decisions, judgments, computations, and conclusions about seduction and flirting being wrong, bad, evil, and anything else that comes up for you, we destroy and create that. Mm-hmm. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, fuck, online, shorts, boys, and beyonds.
And everywhere we decided it must be hard work or something.
Yeah, totally. Because actually it's all about just being you. It's not and there's, I see a lot of people that do like the pretense of flirting, like the pretense of being sexy. And it isn't about that at all, because it doesn't matter what your body looks like or how much you weigh or what your face, it doesn't matter. It's like you being you is the most inviting, seductive thing on the planet. And, so when I go out with my girlfriends that don't know a lot of access, they're always like, they always comment on how flirty I am. And I'm like, yeah, but why wouldn't you be? Like, it's so fun to engage with people and to see what lights them up and to, just play with the whole thing. Where have we lost the play of being alive, the play of interacting with other people, the play of it all? And that space of play actually creates so much more quickly and with so much more ease than anything else I've discovered. So what if we could actually play our way into the creation of a reality that works, that's fun, that's vibrant, that's like angst and drama free,
Really?
Yeah.
There's no more life there, no?
I know. What's fun about that? If there's no more drama, what is there?
What is there?
Creation. The creation of something that actually really works. And I get that, that seems far off for a lot of people. And that's a lot of why I'm doing the call, because it's like this is an area where we struggle a lot, with drama and creation of it, and expectations and all that. So let's clear that out. And let's look at what questions can you begin to ask to actually create a reality that works for you, that's magical for you. Like my reality is so easy now. And I look around and I'm like, I chose every one of these things that created this ease. I chose where I'm living and chose who my friends are. I chose who I'm sleeping with and who I'm not sleeping with. I choose all the time and every 10 seconds. And I get more awareness and then I choose again. And that is the willingness to just play and create and always ask another question and always be willing to change something. And at any time I can choose something long-term, and at any time I can choose something not. So it's like you always have choice.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so I guess we're just inviting you to Flirting in a New Reality. It's a 3 telecall series. We're starting next Tuesday, May 10th, 17th and 26th. It's $60. It's really, really affordable. And yeah, what could being willing to actually get aware of where you're functioning from, what could that contribute to your life? And where could you begin to function from that would really change things for you dynamically?
And what's possible beyond this? No?
Totally. Yeah. What is possible? What's possible to create? What's possible to have and be? And what can we invite onto the planet by being a totally different possibility with a lot of ease? So come play with us. Thank you so much, Simone. Really
thank you, Christel, and thank you everybody watching this Hangout, and hopefully see you next week. And the Flirting in the New Reality, the 3-part email e-class, blah, 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 e-class. So have a lot of fun and see you. Bye.
Later. Bye.